The Weed of the Week is sponsored by the Enlist Weed Control System from Dow AgroSciences, a new herbicide and trait system that will build on glyphosate.
Farming isn't just in the land, it's in you. Take control of weeds like never before. Enlist builds on the Roundup Ready system, combining proven control of a new 2,4-D and glyphosate in Enlist Duo herbicide. Protect what matters without changing the way you farm. Talk to your seed or crop protection supplier today.
Our weed of the week is a winter annual grass. It's Italian ryegrass.
When it comes to identifying grasses, we get many questions from farmers saying, well, I don't know. A lot of these grasses look the same to me until they put a seed head on, and I know I've got to control them early in the season. What should I be looking for? With Italian ryegrass, here's a few things that you can keep in mind. First of all, the leaves are hairless. At the base of the leaves, as they hook up to the stem, there are small auricles, or kind of these little clasping claws at the end of the leaves. And then when you look at that leaf, you bend it back, and when you look at that ligule, it's going to be membranous. So it's a membrane. It's not a little fringe of hairs or anything like that. Those three things will be good ways to look for Italian ryegrass.
Here's the big problem with Italian ryegrass. It's becoming resistant to a lot of different herbicides, including the ALS family of chemistry and even glyphosate. So if you can't kill it with Roundup in your crops, like in soybeans, what are you going to do?
Well, in soybeans, that's the easy one, Brian, because you've got products like Treflan, Sonlan, or Prowl, the yellows or the DNAs. They work really well. And in most of the weed control programs that we're putting together for guys in soybeans, we like to have 3 sites of action. One of them being these DNA family that do such a nice job on grasses and also small-seeded broadleaves.
And then post-emerge, there are many different herbicides, SelectMax Arrow, a number of them. Just make sure you're using the highest labeled rate and you're in good shape. In corn, we'd start with a good pre-emerge herbicide, one of the grass killers, Hairless, Surpass, Outlook, or Dual, and then follow post-emerge with Accent if Roundup isn't working on Italian ryegrass in your area. Then we get to wheat, especially winter wheat. This is where we have the most problem with Italian ryegrass because Italian rye is a winter annual. So how do you stop it, especially if it's ALS resistant? We like Prepare as a pre-emerge, but if it's ALS resistant, that's not going to work. There is now Zidua. So you can use Zidua either pre or early post. If that's labeled in your area, that's what we would suggest as the pre. And then you can follow post-emerge. If it's ALS resistant, use something like Axial. Otherwise, if it's non-ALS resistant, then there are a number of options, including Everest 2.0 and Gold Sky.
Well, again, the big thing to remember is Italian ryegrass is a winter annual. And the best advice I can give on any of these winter annual weeds is get out there in the fall and get them under control. I mean, if you didn't get the job done this fall, and you say, oh no, I know I had Italian ryegrass and I let it go. I mean, don't give up on it. By all means, try to control it post-emerge in the spring. But if you can get it in the fall and stop it now, or stop it in the fall, early in the season, now in the spring, you don't have this heavily established, already tillered out weed that you're trying to fight. And that's going to help you with early growth on your winter wheat. It's going to get up and ahead of these other weeds. And a lot of those spring annual weeds, they're not such a big deal. We can control them. It's these winter annuals that are killing us on yield.
Well, once again, our weed of the week is Italian ryegrass. That's it for our weed, but stay tuned. Iron Talk is coming up next.